Hey everyone, welcome back to the Rolling Girls episode 8, After the Rain, and this I guess is the continuation of the, rock and roll arc we're doing, what do you want to call it, but yeah, I'm here with Skyline.
Hey everyone, good to hear you.
Yep, so I guess this is our top 5 moments from this episode. I'm gonna jump in right with mine with Machiro and Misa. I guess they were friends back in the day. Thought that was kind of interesting flashback story, how both of them were, childhood friends, and how something happened where they both split into different, where their dreams were headed different directions. One wanted to play music, the other one was doing something else. Or I think Machiro was kind of, I want to say, pushed into her job, I guess. So, but yeah, that's my top 5 for that. It's just nice seeing that little nod that they gave us a flashback.
Yeah, it seemed that Mamachiro pretty much had the. It seemed like she had the mother and the tradition going for her. That's pretty much the only direction she could go in.
Right, I guess she didn't have that much freedom like Misa did to go do what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
She was kind of like you said. This is a family is doing all this stuff. The girl kind of got pushed into it.
Yeah.
What was your number 5?
I really liked the Maiko makeover when the girls were got in the costumes. It kind of reminded me of like going to like the Smoky Mountains or going out to Arizona and they dress you up in old timey clothes and take those photographs and different things like that.
Yeah.
It's just they're there on a mission. They're supposed to be able to take up the mantle for Matcha Green, but they have time to be tourists.
Right. I think that's more of a moment like she had maybe saw the other girls kind of stressing out and was like, you know what, we need some time to, think things through and just relax. So they kind of went like you said that, exploring the area. That's pretty funny. At first I didn't recognize them when I saw them, but then I was like, then I saw the height differences. I'm like, oh yeah, it's the main cast. Like, I thought they were following some new characters just walking around the town. I'm like, what the heck?
Oh yeah.
But it was pretty funny. My number 4 for coming up next would be she has powers. I guess they finally revealed that she can read into your memories with her camera, and I guess she touches your forehead, and that makes me wonder if maybe that's how she knows the other 3 girls by doing that, and maybe she's not really doesn't really know them, but she is pretending that she knows them.
I had never thought that she pretended that she knew them or anything like that. I mean, they don't remember her at all when you get right down to it. And yeah, I had never thought of that, to be 100% completely honest. She could be infiltrating them for whatever nefarious purposes.
Right, or just using them to get, maybe she knows she can't do it herself, so I need some minions to take care of certain things, so, or she's just doing it just to, maybe she wants to be friends with them, so by implementing, that she knows them, oh, maybe they might accept me, but I can see later on being a plot reveal, we don't know you, who are you, finally confront her about it.
She's using the tools at her disposal, she has the ability to go inside memories and different things like that, so that's how she does things, I guess.
Right. And there's a moment, I also the same part where they're slapping her around, it's a squid, and she's bouncing around the room, and so I'm like, yeah, she definitely is something else,
We'll just go ahead and reveal my moment number 3. Chihaya is the springiest alien ever. So yeah, okay. So we can just move my number 3 right out of the way.
That was pretty funny though. I'll let you talk about it if you want, but it was pretty good.
Oh, it pretty much speaks for itself, doesn't she?
Right. Yeah. It's like a little bounce ball, just throwing and just watching it go nuts, and just. I think she actually didn't knock her out, but hit the girl who was trying to steal one of the stones, but it's pretty funny.
I watched it a couple times. I think it kind of bounced her out of the room a little bit. She was already on the way out anyway.
Oh, right. So, yeah, I guess that works. Well, I guess go to your number 4 then. Yeah, your number 4.
Tokorozawa, by the next full moon, they have a mysterious plan for all the stones or for some of the stones or whatever. They've been acting fairly suspicious so far because, it seems that they dole out, according to the first arc, they dole out to protectors and defenders like Matcha Green on a case-by-case basis. But it seems that they're also losing control of them, or they don't exactly have control of them. So, like we were talking about last week, is this, some sort of alien invasion thing gone wrong, or alien whatever thing gone wrong, or something along those lines?
Yeah, I'm wondering that too, because like you said, they mentioned the full moon and all that, so maybe something's going to happen. I mean, we are in episode 8, So I assume maybe 9, 10, 11, 12 would be the, I guess the conclusion of what's going to happen with all the stones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my number 3 coming up would be don't press the big red button. And AI she was just pushing this button like several times and not realizing that it's the activation thing for the missiles, which is also kind of a head scratcher. Why would they put the activation thing outside of the house, not inside? It's like it's not a very good evil lair to have the destruction button outside.
I guess put it. I mean, that to me, I guess I was thinking about why would they do that, just like you. But then I just the only thing I could possibly come up with was the writers wrote themselves into a corner, and how do we get I and Yukina and this event happening all at the same time?
Right. Yeah, and it was pretty interesting just seeing that happen. But also just funny just how all the guys that are fighting inside the castle kind of realize that wait a minute, where's the activation thing? Because the other guy destroyed the other things. They're like, it was pretty funny. And
exactly.
Yeah. So what was your number 2?
Number 2, Koransuke is an ex-member of the Momiyage Hammers. He was referred to directly as Momizo, and the rest of the band members recognized him by the, we didn't mention this last week, but his pickaxe-shaped sideburns.
Oh, right, yeah. That was pretty funny.
I don't know if I could ever grow.
Right, that's kind of seems like it might be hard to do.
It seemed random, but at the same time, it felt like they were giving the characters in the world another little layer of sorts about how things are kind of like have come together.
Yeah,
which I think is something that the show does rather well.
Right, yeah. I never thought of that when I saw him that he could be, and they kind of make fun of that. Put on some weight. I'm like, not a little weight, a lot of weight.
Dude, you got big.
I guess that's one polite way of saying it. And that kind of leads right into my number 2 with Double-O Konosuke being this secret agent that I did not think he really was. I just thought he was just some guy who was gonna follow her around, and he's just pretty awesome. He has the rickshaw. It was kind of, I guess, doubled as like a rocket or whatever. It's kind of interesting to see him use all these like gadgets and stuff. Like, huh, maybe he is something more than just a regular old dude.
That's very much like Japanese animation. That's very much like an anime aesthetic. Why just have a person be secret agent like when he's also an ex-rock star?
Mm-hmm.
And very ninja-like. I mean, you have to put all the things in there to make it cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. And I guess you can jump to your number 1. What's yours?
My number 1, I don't know if this is the number 1 moment, but it just seemed kind of odd in the way they do characterization and pacing. When Mame Chiyo, she was confronting Doji Shoten, that guy, saying, "Oh yeah, you're planning on destroying the stage," and that's kind of dull, isn't it? And that just kind of really, really hit him hard. He didn't want to be known as doing anything dull or stupid or anything like that. So he said, "All right, we're going to change our minds and we're going to do something else." But the plan to destroy the stage kind of went on without them, and so the best thing they could do to top that was to save everyone and to be the heroes.
That was
so that was just an interesting little turnaround. And again, it felt like the writers kind of wrote themselves into a corner at one point and they said, "Oh, what the heck? Let's just have them be heroes at the end."
Right, and I think I credit that is maybe because each arc is only 2 episodes long, so they really don't have a lot of screen time to do anything. Because my brother talked that if you remove the opening and ending, the show technically only 20 something minutes. So if you think about it from a writer perspective, how do you fit all of this into 22 minutes of the actual dialogue and text and all that? It's pretty tough.
I've done workshops. I've done writing workshops on trying to write scripts, and I had a professor grade it, and he was like, "Wow, you've been tasked to write a 44-minute long episode, and it takes 2 hours. Good work." I'm like, what?
Wow,
I thought I got that trimmed down. Well, no, you didn't.
Right.
Look at all these pages.
So I guess maybe it's the opposite where if there's too much and you have to skim it down to 20. That could be another thing, I guess. That kind of leads right to my number 1, that the last part, the concert's going off and the missiles are coming and the citizens really have no idea that they're being attacked by the missiles. They're just kind of freaking out. The guns are blowing up things and they think fireworks are going off and they're all panicking. And I thought it was cool how the music was started playing and people started calming down, and then it became this just massive concert going on with fireworks going off and the girls kind of getting on stage, dancing and playing guitar together. It was just funny seeing those two.
This became the biggest event ever, which was incredibly celebratory. It was pretty much exemplary of what the show's capable of doing, and just being really, really fun.
Right, yeah, I agree. It was really fun to seeing that. And so yeah, but yeah, that was just great seeing that, and just the music, like I said, music's playing, everyone's having a good time, and missiles are still going off, and even Shu-Tin jumps in the air and defends everybody with, like you said, his powers, and that was kind of cool to seeing him like punch the sky and like nuke all the missiles at once. So it's kind of neat to see all that come together. Even though, like you said, it was weird that he was technically the villain of this arc, but I guess changed his mind at the end, and or maybe it's like, was he just doing it just to get the two girls back together again? I could see that. Like he was just doing it for them.
Towards the middle, and then more towards the end, it felt like instead of good guys and bad guys, it kind of felt like best friends that hadn't talked to each other in a while and had disagreed for quite some time.
Right. Almost maybe like a high school
and
story.
Then finally, yeah, and then at the very end of it, they just kind of just let all their differences run aside and just have fun together like they used to.
Yeah, maybe like Shu-Tin being the middle party, seeing these two girls fighting when they used to be friends, like, that's kind of not right, so I'm gonna set this... I'm gonna pretend I'm a villain and kind of get them together. That would be kind of interesting.
It worked. It worked in the first episode, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty much all of our top 5. I know you have a note here at the end of this with something you want to talk about.
Yeah, I've been seeing over the past week or so, or maybe since the life of the show, probably about since the 3rd or 4th episode, it gets a lot of blowback. A lot of people just like dropped it because I don't know if they didn't understand it or whatever, or it's been getting a lot of, I haven't seen a lot of them myself personally, but I've heard of it about animators tweeting about how screwed up the production schedule is and how about that makes the show look bad or something along those lines. And I kind of like to run counter to that. I don't think the show looks terrible. It looks good. There's some couple derpy animation moments here and there, but I mean, I was just watching Shinmai Testament, and that had some really bad derpy moments in it, and no one's complaining there, or no one's complaining especially because of that. So it just feels like the show's getting some blowback that maybe it doesn't deserve. It's that, and I keep on hearing like, oh, it's not as good as the first 2 episodes, and I'm like, why does it have to be like that exactly? And why does that have to be seen as good?
Well, I think my counter on that is just because, a lot of shows do that. I mean, they start off really, really great. I mean, every show's kind of guilty of that, of having the derpy episodes or the moments that are kind of like, what? Like, what they... animation choices, or... I mean, if we're watching Shirobako, we kind of can tell, even though it's still exaggerated, but there are moments when they have to decide between doing this or doing that, if it's good enough for the production, or there's time constraints, so they have to... And that's why they have Blu-rays. A lot of people think that's lazy, but I think it kind of is, but... I mean, if you want Blu-ray quality, and while they're airing it, that's going to be kind of hard for some studios. Some can't do it. I mean, this studio, obviously, I think is pretty small. I haven't really heard much about them, so...
Yeah, I mean, they have production IG's backing, but they're still a small studio when you get right down to it. They're responsible for their own resources, or whatever resources they can grab.
Right, and all the budget, I mean, they have Attack on Titan, which was their biggest, I think, show they ever put out, so... I mean, this is no Attack on Titan, as far as visuals go. Which is for sure, I mean... But I think the laziness, it made the backgrounds. Some of the backgrounds do look a little messy, but that's just the style of the show.
They look a little messy, but they're very that's the style of the show. They're very stylized, and I actually kind of like that world that way.
Yeah, and I think it shows more of a... It's not an action series for me. It's more of a story-driven series or character-driven series. Because you want to see these 4 girls make the team and eventually make their own group and all that. So. But yeah, I mean that's. I mean, I guess people are gonna complain regardless. I mean, that's how the internet works.
They always do. Self-entitled little wonderkins, you.
That, and if it's not a studio that is god tier, like Ufotable or production at IG, they're not gonna really, look at a show like this. I think.
Exactly.
But anyway, yes, in episode 8. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
No, sir. I look forward to seeing how they wrap up the show, whether or not they're going to have like a 4-part arc to end it, or if they have another two-part arcs in them.
Yeah, I'm hoping for maybe 2 episodes in Chihaya, where she comes from, if she's gonna tell them, hey, I haven't been entirely truthfully, you guys, and I'll tell you what I really am and why I'm doing this, which brings the other girls to her side to, find the other stones, maybe the last mission. That's what I'm hoping for anyway.
It's Yuri Ika, Yuri Squid.
Oh yeah.
Maybe the squid meteor blew up and something happened to her.
Yeah, it could be it. Instead of Kuma Shock, it's Squid Shock or whatever, Ink Shock. What do you want to call it?
Squid Shock. Shock.
And they're gonna reveal that.
Squid ink spaghetti.
They reveal that her mom is really Aika Musume, Squid Girl, and it'd be the best, crossover. Just, hey, look, we're doing this, but yes, we'll talk to you guys next week for episode 9.
Later on.
See ya.